Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's week 128 on Body Bags. Bourgie86 here. It's that day again. It's Wednesday. Hump day, the usual. Goodness. And what I got for you guys today is actually a film that I actually haven't seen before. I actually never heard of this film before until Scream Factory announced it. And that's kind of a sad thing because actually a very interesting film. It's from 1971. It goes for the title Blood and Lace. Not to be confused with Blood and Black Lace, the Mario Bava film of the same title, which came out a few years before, I believe. I don't have it on me to dictate it. Yeah, but Blood and Blood Lace. This is directed by Philip Gilbert, who's a director I don't really know a lot about. I think I've seen a few of his films. I believe he actually directed The Boogans, actually, which is one of my favorite creature features of all time, which is a very interesting thing because I actually haven't seen any of his other films. I can't say that now because I watched this. And, okay, let's get into the main synopsis of this film. It's kind of a very strange plot. We're introduced to a girl, I believe her name is Ellie. Yep, Ellie. Ellie, she's a young girl. She's actually an orphan. We actually see in the beginning of the film, like, her mother's death, because her mother was murdered. And she's living in, like, this hospital. She's always trying to run away and shit. The doctor, the head of the hospital, is in, like, her primary care, so he's the one in control of her. So what happens is he ends up deciding to put her in, like, this orphanage, like, home for, like, orphans, and it's run by this very eccentric woman named Mrs. Deere, and also ran by this caretaker who's actually played by Len Lezer, who's what the fuck's his name? Uncle Leo in Seinfeld. Yeah. And this is a very, like, odd group. She has, like, bad vibes about these two when she first comes here. What ends up happening is there's a MO with these two that she's trying to figure out, and she kind of finds out, and she becomes part of their MO plan. And then what also happens is she's starting to have, like, these sightings of, like, this masked person with a hammer who might be her mother's killer. So it's against these two eccentric characters that run this caretaker, pretty much, and trying to figure out who this masked individual is and who's actually the more dangerous of the two. That's pretty much the main plot of the film. Now, my thoughts on it: very, very strange plot, I have to say. I actually never seen a film like this that takes these eccentric characters and throws them in a setting. You actually see a lot of, like, violence, hands-on, in the first couple of, like, in, like, 20 minutes of the film. And there's a lot of violence and a lot of creepy moments, especially in the beginning. And when you get the reveal of what's going on in this orphanage very early on, and you're like, what the fuck? And you know, like, something's wrong with these people, and then you feel for, like, Ellie and trying to survive and actually try to get out of this place because you know what's happening here. And the characters are, like, very odd, especially, like, the orphan kids is, like, a promiscuous girl, and the guy who's, like, the oldest guy who's about to, like, become the oldest and get out of the orphanage and stuff. And a lot of, like, good character actors, like I believe there's the guy who played Mel and Alice is also in this film. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. There's a very young performance by Dennis Christopher, who you probably know from like Fade to Black and Them. He plays one of the kids in this film. He's really, really young in it. And yeah, they all do a good job. I like the interaction with the kids and the actors and stuff. They all do a really well job. Uncle Leo, Len Lesser, he's a real like crummy, scummy dude and shit, and does some fucked up things and shit to the kids, which I liked. And yeah, the overall like synopsis of this film is a bizarre one, and it has that type of ending also, which I didn't actually see coming. I was actually, my mouth dropped when I saw the final like lines and ending of this film, and it was really well done, and I really like dwelled for the characters and the story. I like these very like oddball films that come out of nowhere and have like that weird ending and shit that you don't see coming. So yeah, I'm babbling on. If I had to rate Blood and Lace, I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. It's a very odd film. I think some people might not like get like some of the odd moments of it, and it might go over their head a little bit. But others will appreciate its oddness, and it will sit and grow into like a classic film during the time period. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for Blood and Lace. Check it out. Alright, guys, that's it for this week. I'll be back next week with another review. I don't know what I'm going to review, as always. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you're enjoying the week so far. I'll see you next week. Peace out.